much different feeling. I know. Just a thought of running right now. Sorry. Oh, I got my chapstick.
Okay, I've got everybody's attention. I'm going to move ahead and I'm going to introduce our guest speaker, Amanda Famularo. But you can't come up here yet.
Okay.
I've got a few things to say. Amanda graduated from Sayville High School in 2013, and during her time as a member of our track team, she was probably without rival as the outstanding track and field performer at Sayville High School. I was just commenting, there's enough points over at this table to win almost any meet that we would go into. Competing in the 400 intermediate hurdles, I'm going to say Amanda was undefeated in her 4 years at Sayville High School as an intermediate hurdler. But I can't say that. She actually lost one 400-meter race, and she knows exactly what I'm talking about. We were in a very close meet with Rocky Point. And for those of you who follow track and field, people on the team know the 400-meter hurdles follows immediately after the 200 meters. So Amanda, being a good team person, ran the 200 meters and managed to do very well there and help us a great deal. And then the dingbat coach comes over and says, would you consider coming back and running the intermediate hurdles? That was a ridiculous request, and as we get older, we always get wiser, and I would never ask that again of anybody. So just to put it into proper perspective, Amanda was undefeated in her 4 years of running intermediate hurdles at Sayville High School. In the process of being undefeated in the 400-meter hurdle, she also won 2 division titles. And in addition to winning 2 division titles, Amanda was constantly a threat in the state quals to break both school records and to go upstate as an all-state participant. She is our school record holder in the winter season, running 60.2 seconds in the 400 meters. And she is a 42 point something in the 300 meters. And for those of you who run those 2 events, know that running that indoors is quite an achievement. I think what is even more important, and I'm going to make this very brief because I'm going to embarrass her to death, but I think what makes this even more important is where you rank in the history of Sayville High School. And I'm a freak when it comes to keeping records, top 10, top 20. I know where everybody is, and I know exactly what they've done. I may not remember my own name tomorrow morning, but if somebody asked me what they ran and what year they ran it, then I could probably tell you. I'd just like to share with you a very simple thought to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Amanda is in the top 10 all time in the history of Sayville High School during the winter season in the 55 meters, the 300 meters, the 400 meters, the 4x200, the 4x400, and the 1600 medley relay. That's only the winter. In the spring, she is in the top 10 in the 100, the 200, the 400, the 400 intermediate hurdles, the 4x200, the 4x400, and the 800 meter medley relay. When you are in that many top 10s, you just have to really try to understand that you are one of the best that we have ever had. I don't have to say anything more. I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Amanda Famularo.
Hi, everybody. Oh, that was a crazy introduction. Hi, my name is Amanda Famularo, and I really can't express how honored I am that I was asked to speak to you all this evening. It's a strange feeling that 4 short years ago I stood up here giving my senior speech, as a bunch of you will tonight. I cried and I hugged my friends, my parents, my coaches, and I came to face the reality that I was entering college and facing new and uncharted territory. I knew at this point I was going to be running Division I track on scholarship, and I was intimidated. I stand here now upon entering my last year of eligibility, and I can truly say I have faced every extreme with this crazy sport we for some reason voluntarily subject ourselves to. I've experienced irreplaceable highs and unimaginable lows, but there's not one day that I would change it. This sport has shaped me as a student, a friend, an athlete, and most importantly as a person. And it all began here in Sayville High School with two men that first believed in me. Mac and Zayt have been inexplicable influences on not only my track career, but my life. It was here on this team that I learned what it first meant to be uncomfortable, to face failure, and to be pushed. It was with Mac and Zayt that I had the support to learn how to take these situations and learn from them and appreciate them. On especially windy days when Mac had us doing some form of torture, turning the curve of the track to face the wind head on, as many of you know, is like running into a brick wall. What did Zayt say to us when we turned and ran into that wall? Make the wind your ally. So we did, because it was either that or you give up, and giving up wasn't an option. Mac has a variety of quotes that I'm sure all of his athletes are familiar with. However, the one that meant the most to me is, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. Aside from it taking 20 minutes for me to even understand what he was saying, I never truly understood what it meant until I was forced to deal with change. I've always identified as a 400 hurdler, for all through high school and for the first 2 years of college. It was what I excelled at here at Sayville, and it's what got me recruited in the first place. But I was comfortable. I was doing what I always did and getting the same results. So this past year I began running the 800. I didn't have exactly fond memories of this race, and the first time I ran the 800 was in high school, Mac remembers, and I practically crawled to the finish line in dead last. And the second time was in college, and I essentially walked to the finish line, also in dead last. And the third time I still couldn't keep up. Finally, my college coach now told me he was giving me one more shot at this event. He seeded me 6 seconds faster than my personal best, and all of you know 6 seconds in track is almost a lifetime. My teammates patted my arm sympathetically and told me it was unfair that he would put me in this type of position. Stepping up to the line that day, I couldn't think of anything but the fact that I'd earned a good time. Track is amazing in the sense that what you put into it, you'll get out of it. And I knew that I put in the blood, sweat, and definitely tears, so I did something different. I went out with the leaders, and I got something different. I ran a 6-second personal best. 4 short years ago, I was standing up here saying goodbye to an amazing team. And in 1 year, I'll be saying goodbye to another. As runners, we're always focused on time, but not how to make it last. When you're on the line for a race, you have 2 options. Run your hardest or don't. Time goes on with or without your permission, and you either push yourself and make the most of it, or you let it pass you by. I'm sure not all of you are planning to pursue track after high school, or maybe even next year. However, I hope your time on this team was as meaningful as it was for me. The experiences and lessons have guided me, and I will continue to build on them for my entire life. It's absolutely necessary to take chances to achieve anything great. However, sometimes it's scary to take that initial step. So whatever your passion is in the future, remember to never give up, give your absolute best. What you put into it, you will get out, and when you face a difficult situation, make the wind your ally. Good luck to all of you, and thank you.